So you got X amount just sitting in there, then the interest that you make each whatever week or month, you just multiply.
Each week.
Yeah.
Yep, every Friday. Like clockwork. Look at you. Set up here.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah. So I've never done this, guys, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Taking Steve's virginity.
Yeah, dude, we'll be careful. It's just a bunch of idiots.
A couple idiots, yeah.
We close that?
Which one do you want?
I'm gonna have my water right now, so. How often do you guys do this?
Gosh, a couple times a week sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
And is that ultimately, are you doing this ultimately to push your membership and get followers to then they...
Yeah. I mean, I think it all is working symbiotically, you know? Like each piece of it.
Our general mission is to kind of just wake people up, man.
Yeah.
Because we can't just sit around and wait for them forever now. We gotta, you know.
But I mean, one part of the waking up is crypto, you know, as you know. You've been in the ride for a long time.
I have. It's been fun.
Yeah, do you think it's
coaster.
like time is, since you've gotten in crypto, even like having kids, because kids, when I had a kid, it sped time up. But then when I got into crypto, I feel like I've aged 100 years in the last 5.
Oh, yeah. Even in the last 3, just how much it's evolved. And
Right.
you see banking institutions, now you're just everyday name from Chase or Netflix or PayPal. It's just kind of becoming a home name now that everybody hears. So.
Oh, yeah,
it's
man.
Exciting.
Yeah.
My mom just asked me about it.
ICCU. I just pulled up my app on ICCU.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What are they saying?
You can buy it right on there.
Shut up.
It's right on
Here we go, guys. We are now in mass adoption.
Yep.
Mass adoption, dudes. Okay, man. These like are mile markers. So like in 2017, I made a video on there are 3 phases to all technology. The first phase is the innovation. The second is mass information. The third is mass adoption. Yep. So, and then I look at like news things, like you're saying, like banking, now institutional investors, governments, things like that. Like that we're traveling down this road of life. And like us, we're plugged into this new technology. So you just like, boom, mile marker just went by. Oh, I can buy it on ICCU. That means we're getting closer to the destination.
Which, if you go back to the 80s, it's the same exact thing
with
that happened
everything.
With the internet.
That's right.
The
Yeah,
internet
totally.
started, and you can follow the exact same roadmap almost as the internet, as it launched.
Yes.
To mass adoption is exactly what's happening here.
Yes.
I've got a question. I know that you guys bought a vehicle or leased or bought a vehicle from Edmark Toyota.
Yep.
Did you guys use crypto to do that at all?
So the funny thing is
do they accept crypto?
Yeah.
Who does?
Edmark Toyota.
Edmark Toyota.
Oh,
So
dang
we
it.
bought-
Toyota, though.
Yeah.
Here we
Edmark
go,
Toyota.
dog. I'm going to
Yeah.
go get that new Lexus.
So I just got the wife the new 4Runner. We get back, everything's done from the leasing, and then I get an email like, thank you as a customer. Did you know we have Bitcoin? And I'm like, I went to my sales rep, why did you not offer me this, that you know that I have crypto? And they didn't even offer it to me. But yeah, right on their website. You can go right to the webpage.
Can you pay your lease with crypto?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
It is
I wonder.
through Toyota Services, so that's a great question.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have known. But that's,
man,
again,
it's
just
here.
another... I mean, you're talking about Toyota. That's a big...
That's a big company, yeah.
That is. I mean, that's one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're adopting it?
Yeah.
I guess it would be the actual agency, the franchise. So the franchise of Edmark.
Edmark.
Yep.
They're
Which
taking
Edmark is-
they're taking the top 9 coins that are traded.
Yeah.
Dang, man. That's wild.
Crazy times.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. What have you been? I mean, because we ran into each other just a few weeks ago, man. I mean, we first touched base back in what, 2018, 2017, 2017.
Yeah.
Yep, at Phil's.
You might not even know Ken, but so it was right around the 2016. I had a restaurant, and some guys kept coming and hitting me up, saying they wanted to just had a meetup for Bitcoin. And of course I'm like, what is Bitcoin? And so they were just looking for a meetup place, an event center. So I started to let them come into the restaurant and do these events. They started to ask me, if they could pay me in Bitcoin. At the time, I had no clue what it was. I was slam busy running multiple businesses. I said, sure. So they set up a wallet. I gave them a tablet. They set up a wallet. and they started to pay Rachel in tips, and they started to pay for their food in tips. And it was kind of right at that time. I was trying to get in, and I didn't know how to get in. I didn't know how to buy. I couldn't figure out how to buy. And that was when Bitcoin, I think, was like $650.
In 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure,
And
man.
so what you might not know is right about that 2017 time is when I ran into Gary. And he's really the one that kind of was the fire starter, getting me involved, helping me understand just really the technology behind it, what it was. And again, with the industry I'm in, with cell phones and internet, I really had to step back and look at, hang on, the evolution we just talked about and how technology has changed everything that we do and really controls everything we do. And that's where it really clicked. I need to listen. And yeah, my first investment into cryptocurrency was through you. I don't know if you know that.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. What have you really learned since then, since 2017? What are some of the biggest takeaways? Because are you still like in it pretty deep?
Oh yeah, I'm all in. I have $0 in savings accounts. I have everything is all in crypto. Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm sure we'll talk about that, but just understanding, even just recently, really within the last 6 months, understanding these new yield programs. I started to research my bank account, and I'm like, hang on my savings account, I made 0.002% on the money sitting in there, which pretty much after the fees, I think I maybe
and inflation, you're actually negative, negative.
Which I actually asked some questions on Instagram, like if people wanted us to talk about some stuff. And one of the questions I had, are there coins that don't like move a lot, right? Like, are there coins that that are pretty stable? Yeah. And there definitely is coins that are more stable. Just like the stock market, there's ones that jump up and down, and there's ones that are more stable. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, that's so wild.
Yeah, but I think again for me, it's just really understanding, my core in internet and technology, and just really looking at the technology of what this is. And I think the best example I can give is Blockbuster. I use this story all the time, but the CEO of Netflix, the founder of Netflix, had come to Blockbuster, sat around a board table, and tried to sell them on the app, like explaining to them this new technology of streaming TV, and Blockbuster didn't get it. They didn't get it, and they just thought they were too big, they were too powerful.
Right.
They had 350 locations, I think, nationwide, and they pretty much laughed the opportunity, and it was for $50 million. So for $50 million, Blockbuster laughed the opportunity of Netflix out the door, and I think it's worth $200 billion now.
Yeah, it's
Blockbuster's gone.
And Blockbuster's out of business.
Yeah, one left in the whole nation. Yeah.
That's
And
wild, from 350 to 1.
Yeah.
And that's just, again, because sometimes technology is hard to understand. I don't know about you guys. I still don't understand how a plane flies. That technology of carrying
Oh my gosh, so much technology in a plane.
Like, how can it just fly in the air and not just fall out of a sky?
Man.
So you can be the person that just sits there and fights that, or realize, there's a lot of amazing things that have been created from technology, and to kind of jump on ship. And that's where we're at, I think, right now, is we're starting to see that mass adoption. And I think people think that they've missed the boat. Man, I don't even think we've scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, in fact, to even value it in dollars is irrelevant, because at one point in the future, it will, once it gets to a point where, let's say, $1 million per Bitcoin, then the dollar will be so worthless, you'll never value anything in dollars. So when that, like, if you have one Bitcoin, which I know right now is a lot in value of dollars, but in, let's say, 10 years, you would never tell someone you had a whole Bitcoin. They'd kidnap your kids.
Yeah. Kind of like back in the old gold rush days. You just didn't tell anybody. You hid it.
Right.
Kept it under your bed. You didn't want anybody to know.
Well, and the value back then was nowhere near the value we're seeing, or the like returns we're seeing on these, right? Like even back then, those people, like people that live in apartments today, live a better life than those people that made it rich back then.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so like scale wise, if you're a billionaire today, like you live better than anyone has on this planet ever.
Oh yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, but as the dollar crashes, those people, like, it's going to be an inversion. Like the richest of rich, like let's look at the Charlie Munger, the Warren Buffett, like people who are totally against crypto, at least on the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably own it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like in a day, they'll be broke. because when that dollar really crashes, like everybody that's invested in the stock market, anything that's valued in dollars, it will crash. And anybody holding crypto, it will flip. So at that point, like you'll have so many people trying to get out of real estate. Like, so let me give you an example. I have a condo at the Palms Place in Vegas, and it's $500,000. And so I'm like, oh, dude, okay, it's $500,000, no big deal. What I'm going to do is wait until I can just pay it off with 1/10 of a Bitcoin. So when those are markers, like mile markers I'm looking for. So I can like take the average home price in Boise and I can just value that in Bitcoin. Right now, if it's $400,000, it's 10 Bitcoin.
Sure.
So I'm just going to keep valuing the market in crypto until 1/10 of a Bitcoin buys me a house. And then I'm like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Right.
Like it, just like going back to 2017, like I started buying in 2016 too. I bought in June 2016, and I mean by the end of 2016, I mean I was ready to sell everything and go all in.
I remember that conversation you had. We met at like an Applebee's or some shit, and he's like, "Dude, take every single dollar out of your savings account and put it into crypto." And I was like, "God damn it, Gary, you're so crazy!" Like I didn't listen to anything. Well, I listened to him a little bit. I took some money out and put it into XRP, but God, I wish I did exactly what he said. You know, because
even 2-3 years from now, people will be wishing that they had gotten in now.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's the thing: is we as spiritual or emotional beings, we succumb to the whims of our emotions, and when investing, the two emotions are fear and greed. So most people are afraid to get into the market because they don't understand. They've heard stuff that's just contributed to the fear, and so that's going to prevent them from even getting in. What you've got to learn is always do the opposite of what your emotions tell you. Like that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned since being in this market is I've actually had to teach myself over 5 years of trial and error, massive trial and error, where I've lost millions. And just to learn the lesson, like, oh, dude, always do the opposite.
Yeah. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. I don't think there is ever perfection, you know, because it's always... it's just that game with yourself, but the same thing. Anybody, let's listen to this now. Like you gotta get in, like especially if you have none in, you're gonna get. Man, because there is still great opportunity even at $40,000 Bitcoin. I mean, you can start with $100. Just start.
My 22-year-old is all in, and it's like as a dad, it's like. It's so cool to see. He has $0 in savings, and every time he gets money, he goes right into crypto.
Dude.
And people don't understand. Yeah, there's the roller coasters and ups and downs, but he just called me up the other day, and he was like, "I'm up $4,000." I mean, what else? What else can you just all of a sudden, as a 22-year-old kid, double, triple your money in something? So all of his savings money goes right into crypto.
And now, with those high yielding.
Yeah,
because on 4,000, I mean that's $400 a year at 10%.
Yeah.
So man, I'm telling you, that's like a game. That and Robert Kiyosaki says it best. There's no better money than passive income, where you just like, oh man, every Friday. And today was just like, what the fuck? But this is, to me, like now going through, it's like this is the natural evolution of this space. Like, of course, there's going to be high interest. Because of the nature of the network, like so staking onto the network, like it needs us to stake it. So it's just very interesting what a self-sustaining technology it is, and it's really about abundance, and providing abundance. Because the coolest thing about crypto is the deflationary nature. So the more people that invest, the higher the price, the more valuable it goes, which is another inverse thing. Like, at least for the last 100 years, we've lived in an inflationary mindset where the value's lost over the last 100 years. So this will be a total paradigm shift where the world itself will get richer and richer as more people adopt this.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting thing to think about. Like 10 years from now, just the value of the crypto. And then just like for myself, like, hey, I'm taking that money and I'm investing in other things. So how many other people that are going to become billionaires and take their returns that invested into things like Tesla, automated cars, robots, all this stuff, you know?
Well, you're going to start seeing more third world countries doing it because
that's already happening.
Oh, totally.
Dude, in India, I mean, all my friends, I mean, dude, Abe, the one that, our editor, dude, living in Delhi now. I mean, dude, they get paid in crypto. They're all about it. And I mean, dude,
they have a digital ruby now, right? Or they have a blockchain ruble or something like that now in India.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because their country and their central bank is still wishy-washy. 1 month it's illegal, the next month, just kidding, we didn't say that.
Yeah, no. But I think that you're going to start seeing it happen more because let's say you're working for like $40 US a week or a month.
Right.
Now they're still getting paid the same amount, but as they're getting paid that, the value of it's going up more.
Exactly. So imagine, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like people are going to start making more money because now they're getting investments from their country instead of, you know,
look at Fiverr. Like if I pay a copywriter on Fiverr $5 an hour, but it's in Bitcoin, and imagine they were getting that payback in 2015. There's a lot of freelancers out there that were doing that potentially. That now, to your point, is now boom, they're rich.
What you're pretty much saying, it's the biggest distribution of wealth that we'll ever see.
Hands down.
Before, it's the rich getting rich. For the first time, you can have somebody that makes $40 a week, turns that into $80 just by it sitting in their account and doing something. So that wealth is going to start to change, I think, over the next 5 to 10 years because of this. So when you talk about everybody's going to see something from this, the value of everybody, we're going to have more millionaires. It's going to be people that aren't at the top. It's just going to be the average everyday kid that you've seen out there.
Yes.
All the kids buying Lambos, that's what's happening. It's just a normal kid. Like the YouTubers getting rich and famous and making money off YouTube. You're going to have just an average everyday person that's going to be doubling, tripling their wealth.
Oh yeah, man.
Something like this.
Did you hear about that kid in Boise that put $1,000 into Bitcoin when he was 14 and it turned into like...
Out of Boise?
Yeah, man. Eric F is his last name. I've messaged him. He lives in New York now.
Wow.
Yeah, his grandma gave him $1,000 for his birthday. He put it into Bitcoin.
No way.
Yeah, it turned into like I don't know, like 18 or 180 million or something crazy. But yeah, now he lives in New York, like runs a foundation or something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But then it goes. So this is like, look at it like water. So right now, and this is if only those woke people. Because, you know, they're all about wealth equality, right? Get crypto.
Yeah.
That's the best equalizer. So to what I was saying about billionaires that are going to go broke overnight, there's a lot of billionaires right now that are investing in crypto.
Totally.
So when the dollar crashes and crypto goes up, they will stay relatively where they are. Their boat, let's say. Sure. Warren Buffett, if he doesn't have any crypto, he's freaking at the bottom. He's dead.
He'll just sell a couple of his cars and watches. And...
Oh, dude, Warren Buffett, he doesn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
He was in the same house he bought in 1950s.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, he is the cheapest person, dude.
He's just trying to get buried with all of his riches.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think for that guy, and this is kind of the mindset I take, it's just a game.
Sure.
It's just a game, man. Funny. Yeah. To me, it's like... I mean, when I was a few years ago, we went to some event at this just a big, beautiful, nice house with all these really rich people or people with a lot of money. And I learned such a valuable lesson there because they were always talking about in order to be happy, you have to have this life. And I thought, oh, then that must be the opposite's true. If I have nothing, I can be just as happy. So then I started like looking at everything like, do I really want that? Or is that conditioning that I've gotten? Like in order to be successful or feel successful, I've got to have this, this, and this. But again, that's that trick that the mind is teaching. Sure. So then I flipped as like, how can I get my expenses as low as possible? Like I tell Ken, dude, Mint Mobile, $250 a year. Yeah. So it's like, dude, I pay it once a year, then I never think about it again, you know?
You own a cell phone company. If you need
How much for a year?
a good question. It's probably 500.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
That's in a homie hookup, right?
Okay. Well, we'll talk.
Yeah.
But those things, like, dude, and Mark Cuban, another lesson I got from him was just buying, like, I have tons of toothpaste, toothbrushes. So all your, like, consumables, buy in bulk. So then, like, you never think about it, and it's already done, you know?
Totally.
So
I do the same thing. Mark Cuban's the man, yeah.
Right.
I love Mark Cuban. Honestly, I think that, like, it's crazy. As a rich person, you can either, like, give in to the system, right? The matrix, and, like, push the matrix. Or you could be a guy like Elon Musk or Mark Cuban that are just, like, trying to wake people up. Like, it's crazy to me when, like, you talk to somebody with, like, anxiety or depression, like, because I've gone through it as well, you know, and you're like, you don't have to feel this way. You just have to say, I'm not going to feel that way today. And then you just feel better. But then they have, like, all these, like, lists online, you know, that are like, if somebody tells you could just feel better, tell them that that's not the right way to talk to you because you have depression. It's like, man, they're just making you feel like it's okay to have depression.
Right.
Like, it's not, I mean, it is okay to have it. I understand there's, like, traumas and problems and stuff, but, you know, you can just turn it off and just decide.
There's a commercial now that talks about, exactly, I just saw it, and it's like talking about how telling somebody that they're okay and they're beautiful and that you can do this, those are all the wrong answers. And it's like, it's a real problem. And I'm like, yeah, it's tough going back to what you're saying.
Totally. It is, man. Yeah, it's totally just a mindset.
It's a problem. I mean, it would suck to be in it, but yeah, it's what are you focusing on?
Yeah.
If you focus on depressing stuff, it's like, man, we all have trauma. We all have things we go through, but it's how that thing defines you. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, you got to, at some point, move on.
Well, it's crazy how many things can control your mind, you know? Like trying to drive home without eating your fast food that you just bought, like without, like, eating one French fry, or, you know, just little things.
Or
all
just getting fast food in the first place instead of cooking your own food.
Yeah, exactly.
All those, man. The Matrix, dude.
Well, nowadays it takes just as long to get fast food as it does if you just went home and made your own damn food. Like, the lines are wrapped around the corner, and then each person takes 25 minutes, and the food looks like shit, and people just still consume it. It's like, damn.
You guys know who Earl Nightingale is?
Of course. Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about the mindset. And
yeah.
I, that went for quite a while where I forced my kids to start, because you have to, but it's like every week I want you guys to listen to this and report back to me, because I really truly believe that young age, if we can just ingrain in them, it doesn't matter anything we teach them, they're going to remember, you know.
100%.
We still remember whatever things you learned in school, whatever, if it was important to you, but just understanding the mindset and how much control we have. The most powerful thing in the world is what God gave us right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mindset. So,
yeah, that's what creates our reality.
Yeah.
So especially once you woke up, then obviously now you're teaching your kids. So it's like you're giving them those upgrades. Because when did you, like, start getting into Earl Nightingale or...
Yeah, 8 years ago.
8?
It's...
What age do you think?
Probably right around 32, somewhere around.
Okay, so at 32, you started getting this info and stuff like that. Yeah. And you started then teaching it to your kids. So think you gave them information that you didn't get until you were 30.
Mid-30s.
They're so far ahead. I think about, like, with my kid, you know.
Yeah. No, it truly, my oldest kid, kind of had some of those depression things. And I made him, literally, you're going to listen to this every day. You're going to report back. I can honestly say within 3 months, you would have never recognized the kid. He's the most confident person you would ever meet. You've met Tyler.
Dude, great kid.
You would never know the confidence level from sales. He works for me. I mean, going up and it's changed his life. And it's all about the mindset, how you look at yourself, how you perceive yourself. So, yeah.
You know, and the mind can play tricks on you. Sometimes, like I still have bad days sometimes where I'm like, shit, dude, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, last night sucked. You know, me and my girlfriend are fighting or whatever, right? Yeah. And then you're just like, dude, who cares about all that? Like, just get up and go do it, you know? Yeah. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer or whatever, right? But as long as you realize that, like, yeah, if you just sit there and dwell on these things, like, your life's going to suck, you know? And
just keep going down that path.
I feel like people start to wear their feelings and their emotions, right? Like, you see some people, like, right now I'm slouching, but I try to sit up straight and stuff like that most of the time. But people start to get that like curved back and like the bad skin, and you know, they're just so angry all the time. Like those are the grumpy old men that you see. They're like, oh, goddamn kids. They got the cane and stuff. And you're like, man, that guy has just worn so much emotion that it's pulled him in and just made him, you know, he's just such a grumpy guy.
Yeah.
Feel bad for him, but you know, life's easy. You know, the other day I was at this, I'm sure all of us have done this, but I was at a stoplight and I see the light turn green, and I just look in my rearview mirror, and the lady behind me is losing her mind and like blowing her horn.
At
and
you?
Yeah, and I'm like, the light has literally just turned green, right? And dude, she just behind me and just like freaking out. And so I just like step on it, and she flies around me and flips me off, and I'm like, man, that was like just so over the top, you know? I like feel so horrible for that. She was probably in her 60s, like. How could you be that upset about me taking 30 or 45 seconds to...
You know what I do to those people now?
Huh.
Your first reaction used to be to flip them off, right? And I realized, hey, you know, you're really having a bad day. So every time I get up there and I go, "Buh," and they just look at me and it catches them in shock. Like it's either the peace symbol or just an I love you. And it shuts them up. And I think maybe the next time it happens, they'll have a little different perspective of like, you know, hey, just chill. Like, life is short. Enjoy it, whatever. So I love it because I act like I'm going to flip them off and just throw up the boom. And watch their face. Watch it. Whether it's a fight, whether you're downtown and somebody does something or whatever. And my kids think it's funny, but I'm just like, yeah, just flip them an I love you symbol and see.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to fight Steve anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty tough guy. You know?
Just a nice
But
guy.
do you think for either of you guys, because that stuff never happens to me. I never have people flipping out, and I drive the speed limit or slower with the cruise control.
You're one of those guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And but here's the thing. Like I believe that this reality is a reflection. So the only, like, you would have to really ask yourself, were you having a bad day at all? Because why did you and that lady meet at the exact same time where she just reflected anger at you? Like, why are you receiving that in your reality?
Yeah.
Because you created it, you know? So like that's how I look at all things. Like me, I'm never in a hurry to anywhere. I'm the guy, I literally get to all my appointments 30 minutes early, and I'm working in my car waiting for them. So I drive with the cruise control everywhere I go. Always. So I'm like, dude, but then, and so here was my point is, man, there's so many people like that grumpy old man. How many people do we know that are always wearing a smile, pretending to be happy, but inside they're fucking angry or resentful or playing the victim? You know what I'm saying? Totally lost.
Totally just lost it.
Dang it.
You're not angry, are you?
Not at all, man. No way. I got nothing to be angry about. Oh, but you know what? Something I was thinking about when you were talking about your son and the depression, the little stint with depression during that time, and when you shared with him that Earl Nightingale, do you think he had lack of purpose or real goals?
100%. Yeah.
Because that's what I think, depression or anxiety, it's just a lack of definite purpose in life. When you don't have something that you're reaching for that you want so bad that you're willing to wake up early or break through the pain or the comfort zone, then your mind has that time to then focus and dwell on the past. Have you guys ever read Power of Now?
I have not. No.
Eckhart Tolle.
I think you sent it to me, but I don't think I've read that. It's on my list of books to read, but I have not read that one yet.
So he talks about in that our emotions are caused. They're like the aftermath of our thoughts. So if depression is your mental energy focused on the past, reliving the past, wishing you could change the past, resentment is anger towards the past, anxiety is taking your mental energy and projecting into the future and having things turn out unlike you want them to. So anxiety is fear about the future.
Yeah.
So our emotions are just like, it's just like a message from yourself to yourself saying, hey, just want to let you know that you're spending a lot of time in the past.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep feeling these feelings until you forgive, truly let go, you know?
Yeah.
Or, hey, just want to let you know you're spending a lot of time in the future, you know,
Slow
afraid
down.
of things, you know, stuff like that. So yeah,
Interesting,
just
huh?
slow down, be right here, right now.
Yeah.
You know, you made it. Like, I'll be 40 this year. Like, dude, I made it 40 years. Not dead. Not dead. Life is good.
Okay.
Got food to eat. I got more than one car even. Like you're saying, like, dude, like the 99% of the planet doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, dude, what are you rushing for?
Yeah. Well, and it's also crazy telling somebody that too, right? Like, and then they just like their reaction to it is like, well, I read a paper that said this or something. It's like, well, quit reading those papers. You know, like who gives a shit, right? Like,
man.
They're like right now. Have you seen the Ghetto Kids, the dancers?
Them,
love those kids, right?
Them,
but dude, you see the how happy they are and how great, and like they live nowhere near the life that we live, right? Except for the fact that they probably don't have to work 60 hours a week and pay all their bills and stuff, but they're having a great fucking time. And who knows when was the last time they had like the steak we had the other night at Chandler's, or you know what I mean? It's like, dude,
I'm sure they're eating.
Yeah,
because they have the internet. They're making videos.
Totally.
So
but I'm just saying they're not eating like the delicacies that we're eating. They're not drinking the great drinks that we're drinking. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
also the Matrix, because what if they do have delicacies? They're just different than ours. Like if you don't know what something tastes like, you don't miss it.
Yeah.
What if they have things that like, because a delicacy, wouldn't you say a delicacy is something that's rare?
Sure.
Not a lot of people get it. That's why it's a delicacy, or delicate. It's probably the root word of it. So the same like there. If you grow up in a culture, whatever that culture might be, there's going to be delicacies.
They probably think they're living the life.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, you had bison balls last night? No way. You lucky dog.
Do you guys follow Carnivore MD?
Uh-uh.
Dude, I love Carnivore MD. So he's like a
liver king.
Yeah, I mean, he like goes back to like the old diets, right? Like where you eat all meat, fruits, and he like will do reviews on like kale. He'll be like, kale has these things in it, which is bad for your digestion, and blah blah blah, could cause bloating. And he's all, this is bullshit, you know? Like he just goes through and breaks down like you shouldn't eat roots, you shouldn't eat peanuts, you shouldn't eat all these things because they develop chemicals that protect them.
Nutrients.
Yeah, they develop these things so people don't eat them, or animals don't eat them. What's bad for your digestive system?
Right.
But he's like, you need to eat liver, you need to eat balls, you need to eat heart, you need to eat brain.
That's what
the
organs would go for.
Totally, that was the most important delicacies 100%. To them, right? Same thing with like fruits. He's like, fruits are great for you. But yeah, I mean, this guy is awesome, and he's also shredded and like 50 and still surfs all the time, you know. But he's a cool guy. I love following him. I wish I could eat that diet, but
have you guys ever even had liver?
Yeah, I have.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Really? I've never had it.
Oh, wow.
I've never.
He eats raw liver, dude.
Oh, yeah, just taking a bite. I saw Liver King take a bite out of a testicle. Yeah. Just, here's a testicle. Oh, man.
Yeah, wild stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen videos where it's like live. They just butchered the cow, and he's got a freaking row of organs. He's just like, I'm like, whoa, dude. Oh, man. I mean, I'm sure you got to get used to it, but man, that first bite is going to be wild.
I've eaten cow balls before at the Rocky Mountain Oyster Festival.
A raw one?
No.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, never.
Oh, I don't even.
No,
that's next on the list.
Oh.
I don't know if I can I don't know if I could do it, dude. But they do have supplements. I don't get the ones
on supplements. Yeah.
Yeah, they. I just ordered some, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, I just finished reading a book, Sri Yukteswar's book, and he's talking about like we are natural fruitarians.
Yeah.
Like if you look at our teeth, our digestive system, he's like humans are meant to eat fruit primarily. And man, I mean, the biggest thing I learned when he was like, I mean, it's conditioning, it's an addiction. But like meat, when you think about, would you eat a human?
No.
Then why do we?
I know.
They have emotions. Like they live in a slaughterhouse where it's like, oh, I know, it's my time to die because Bob just died, Fred died yesterday. Like you're watching death all around you. So then like you're eating that trauma because that's energy's in the muscle.
You get some sort of disease if you eat humans.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that.
I don't know, man, because there's another great book, The History of Mankind, I think, or something. I mean, it's a crazy, but dude, they talk about humans were carnivores for a long period of time.
Totally.
So I don't, but you know what? Yeah, look it up, because another thing I just found out or saw that someone gave it a Goog was talking about incest, and that the chances of you actually getting your child as special is very slim.
Really?
Yeah, very slim. So the rumor or the cultural programming around incest is it's not as much as
Kind of like having your hair wet and going outside, like your parents always told you, you'll get sick.
Oh yeah, like thinking
They
that
tricked us on so many things.
Do you? But there's still people that believe that.
Yeah.
But then you would,
Carried on from.
and then you go to think that that would mean that temperature creates illness.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, does that make sense? So does that mean if you're in super hot weather, you're gonna get sick too? Like, oh my gosh, that's wild, man. Did you get rid of the club?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did. I'm out. So I was about 2 years ago.
No way.
Thank you. COVID.
So right after the remodel?
Yeah.
And right before COVID?
It was right during COVID. Yeah.
During?
Yeah.
Did you get out alive?
Yeah. Got out
Nice.
mainly mentally, right?
Yeah, because that's a big business to run. A lot of moving parts, a lot of personnel.
Yeah, and most people don't know because, obviously, but being in the nightclub, then that's where everybody knows you from everybody, But really my main focus and passion has always been my cell phone internet business. So I've had it 22 years now. So really just really focusing on that.
My dad used to work for
Isn't
Steve.
that crazy?
Doing sales?
Yeah.
Selling cell phones?
back in the day.
Like
Yep.
at the mall?
No, he was on one of our
B2B?
business reps. Yep, selling to businesses. Yep.
No way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So is that your primary focus now?
That's
Outside of crypto?
100% my focus. So.
Do you have an office?
Ironically, I shut all my offices down about 8 months before COVID, and everybody works remote. So kind of works out perfect.
You were correct, Gary. Although it may seem wrong, the good news is that consuming cooked human flesh is no more dangerous than eating the cooked flesh of other animals. This is true for the majority of the human body. The health implications are similar to that of eating any large omnivore. However, there is one organ that people should avoid eating at all costs: the brain. And
I thought they were going to say the dong.
No, the brain. That's what makes them sick. So you can get sick from eating the brain.
Brain. Interesting.
Human brain.
Right, human brain. But even that might be a myth.
Yeah.
It's kind of like eating that poisonous fish in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not cut poisonous. Right, it can kill you.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
if the chef is not a master and knows exactly how to process it, it will kill you. Poisonous.
It's like a puffer fish of some sort, right?
So. I think you're right. Yeah.
Very cool.
Speaking of, though, you ever been to Asia?
Have not.
No?
Nope.
Huh.
Gary and I are thinking about backpacking through or Japan, right? That's what we talked about.
Hell yeah, dude! I'd backpack. That's my number one destination.
Bring one outfit, backpack, and just go.
Just buy underwear as you go.
Yeah, just buy underwear as you go in Japan.
That's all you really need, man. Is underwear. Got to change those freaking grease diapers up,
Flip it inside out one day, next day get a new pair.
Nice, dude. Nice.
I hope they have
Tell me about your yielding with crypto. I think that's important for people to know. I'm wanting to learn more about it.
I mean, just staking and these lending platforms that pay just incredible interest, man. I don't know really what more to say. Is that I
just started it 30 days ago, so some of the people I know that are big into the crypto and all that have really been talking about it, and so I started about 30 days ago, so I'm just starting to see the returns on it. But I have one coin that has 130% APR, one's at 100%, one's at 50%, and it's crazy to just think you can have your money sitting there and then earning those kind of returns off of it.
I was just talking to my stepmom, and she's Cap Ed member, and they get 2.5% for having a savings account at Cap Ed over 25 grand.
Over 25 grand?
It has to be over 25K.
Oh, yeah. Why would you ever do that?
I have no idea.
Why would you? They don't know better. They don't know what else is out there.
Wow.
Yeah. And
wow, we've got to find out what holds people back, because like that demographic, like your stepmom, it's like, what would hold you back? Like, if I could show you, because like every Friday, like I'm not just like, it's not just internet money, you know, me, like it's already out. Like I put everything on a credit card and then I pay the credit card off with that interest. So it's like, it's like in your bank. I don't get it. Like, I don't know what people
my bank teller, when I tried to pull out $15K, said the only people, because I asked for $15K and she said it would take 5 days to get that. And that's at ICCU, which is a big bank, right? And before that, I thought that like when you put your check into the bank account, some dude shows up in an armored truck and puts that amount in cash for like everyone's checks, right? I didn't really know how it worked, but when she told me it's going to take her a week to, you know, round up $15K, I'm like, where's all of our cash at? And she's like, the only people that carry cash are drug dealers and criminals. And I was like, oh, okay.
The teller said that?
The teller said that. Well, the manager of the bank said that.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I was just like, oh, okay. And then they make you fill out all these forms and do all this stuff, and it's a pain in the ass. But to be honest with you, the U.S. dollar is a digital currency, right? Like you put your check in.
Who has cash?
Yeah, exactly. You put your check in, and then that check just goes into your checking account from someone else's checking account.
Yeah, they're just apps
when
on
it
your
used
phone.
to only be drug dealers and criminals had crypto?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How
Oh,
times have
interesting.
changed.
Yeah. Wow.
That has changed.
That is wild. The paradigm shift.
Yeah. Damn. I didn't even think about that. Because that's true. I remember when I was first at the tech mall, when they had the Bitcoin or the Bitcoin ATM, that was all that came in, right? Was people wanting to buy drugs or like, you know,
Cashing their cash out.
yeah,
their
criminals.
drug cash,
Yeah, exactly.
apparently. Yeah, that's wild to think about too. Is man, because even years ago I thought about getting a bunch of ATMs and putting them in all the tobacco connections.
Oh, yeah.
Now there are.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah,
Bitcoin
man.
ones, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. That's a large franchise or network here in Boise. So
I think
it's hitting up, man.
back in the, what was it, Spice days or whatever, I went to lunch with somebody probably about a month ago, I think, and I ran into an old buddy I used to bounce with, Derek, and the guy he was sitting with, I guess, was like the head guy of the Spice scene or whatever. He's a little bald, buff dude, and he was telling me that, I can't remember what it was, but Tobacco Connection was one of their biggest clients, and I can't remember, it was like 10 million or something like that. They were doing like 10 million with Tobacco Connection.
Dang, in Spice?
In Spice, yeah. So I can only imagine what crypto's doing in those Tobacco Connections, because they're everywhere. There's like 90 of them nationwide.
Like the Circle K's now.
Yeah. I mean, I know JT over at, I don't know, some pawn shop on Fairview, and they have an ATM machine in that pawn shop, and he said they were doing like $100,000 a month in volume through it. Yeah, he hates it though. Hates it. His partner made him get it.
Really?
Yeah.
And he hates it.
Hates it.
$100,000 a month.
Because he hates walking people through it.
Oh.
He's an older guy, kind of that grumpy guy.
Yeah.
And so he hates.
Is that Liberty?
People with it.
The Liberty pawn?
Maybe. Is it on Victor? I'm not Victory.
Fairview and Liberty?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I love that place. That's where I go buy ammo all the time.
Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, JT, dude.
Yeah.
Great guy, but he hates
dude.
that machine, dude.
That's where I go buy all my ammo and shit from, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's got like a stockpile in the back there. And if you're a homie, he'll sell it to you for way better price than he sells to other people.
Interesting. But he said another thing about that ATM is Homeland Security comes in and all
checking on him.
Yeah, what are you doing? Wanting to know who's buying and all that type of stuff. So he's like, dude, I don't want these federales in my backyard, sniffing my freaking underwear and drawer. Yeah, so I don't know, man. All those ideas, that never came to fruition, looking back, it's like, dude, I'm glad those didn't happen. Or like the lessons I've learned through some of those, because, man, like in the same thing, like you can relate with Crypto Pro. It's like I launched a project, my first project in 2018, and I mean, dude, within 30 days, we're down 50%.
Oh, yeah.
That was when ICOs, I mean, dude, we were super into ICOs, all that stuff. And dude, I mean, within 6 months, like 90% down. It's like, oh my gosh, dude. I mean, I definitely through that experience learned why motherfuckers jump out of windows.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like that, just like your heart's like, oh my God, dude. Like, oh man.
I was almost there.
Yeah, it hurts. Hurts, man, to lose that much. I mean, you don't lose unless you sell. That was my whole thing.
That's why I think it's funny how that crypto gets such a bad rap because of the roller coaster, but it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's stocks or even your house. You know, it's like everybody's like, oh, I've got 500,000 in equity. No, you don't. Until you sell it, you got nothing because
dude, thank you.
In 2 years, when it's gone, it's gonna be just like crypto. I remember when it was up here,
and
then it wasn't.
Dude, you're the first person that said it. Like, that's true. Like, that's why it's not a good investment. It's a continuous debt.
Yes.
The only way to get your equity out is you got to sell it. And then you got to buy a new house.
Yeah, then where do you go?
Yeah, or you have to take out a HELOC.
Yeah.
And that's more debt. Yeah. So it's not a good investment.
Well, yeah, and I didn't even think about that because the other day when I was talking to my stepmother, she was like talking about stocks and how she prefers stocks. But it's like, how long would it take you to cash out your stock, right? Like you got to call your guy from Edward Jones.
Right.
He's got to do all this stuff for you.
And he doesn't want you to sell. He loses money when you sell. So if you make 10% on Apple and you call up and like, oh my God, I want to get that out. They're like,
sell you on why not to take
right. In fact, they're going to try to sell you on now's the time to buy more.
Yeah.
Whereas, with crypto, it's like you manage it. So I'm going on and selling right there.
Just put it in my BitPay.
Yeah, 100%. Just transfer it over. No big deal.
Yeah.
And then now, I mean, because there's even, I've never done this before, but there are people out there that will connect like through your API. So they got a whole web of them. So you're still in control. So you're getting the same returns, but even that was a couple years ago. Now with these, I mean, we've got some that are 225% APY, where it's like, there's no trading anymore. Like, so now, especially,
just put 60K from your savings into that and watch it multiply, you know?
You're not only getting the APR on that, but you also, as that coin goes up,
100%.
So even if it goes down, I'm earning, and if it goes up, I'm earning. So you're earning on both sides. So
yeah, I mean, I have a whole flow chart with that exact thing. Is I look at it like it's principal, and that principal's earning me interest. I'm harvesting that interest every Friday. So if I have, let's say, if I put $25,000 in, and every week I'm getting $100, I'm cashing that out, which to me is like paying off that principal.
Sure.
Because my number one goal, I even remember saying this back, is get my money back.
Sure.
If I put in 10 grand,
money.
Yes.
Yeah. They always teach you that, right?
Right.
Gambling. Get your money, put it back, and now you're
partying.
You're on the house.
Yeah. So now, to your point, is if that principle never changes, but then the coin triples, then I'm taking a third of it. Now it's all party money.
Yeah.
And that it takes time because, man, I mean, I have one Centric that pays, that's the one that pays like $225. I mean, I've had it over a year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So it's paid. Dude, it pays every 5 minutes.
I've had it for a couple of months, and it's over doubled my coins that I bought.
Right.
I bought 1.5 million coins, and now I'm at like 3.8 or 3.9.
Coins back into it.
Totally.
It automatically does.
Yeah,
so he's
nice.
never
You can
cashed
either do
it
what
out.
You do and cash it out every week, or you can keep doubling up and adding it to it. So yeah.
Well, and that's what you want to do, because then when it bounces
really
back up, dude, you're gonna freaking just pop up, dude, popping bottles.
It comes back to education. You said you don't know why people do it, and I think it's education. Some of it's the fear, and so I think that's where it's great having conversations and just talking with people. I mean, I'm sure you do too, but I get hit up every week. My wife's like, "Why are you not charging for this?" But I do it because I truly, see the opportunity to help the little guy. I think that's what this is when I say the transfer of wealth. And so
man.
Every week I can show you every message where I'm just helping people and just the basics and the understanding of how to get in.
Dude,
maybe just the top
affiliate marketing, dude. We need to get them in because we in our
videos on all that.
Yeah, on our Discord group we have videos, and then we also have like worksheets that they can print off and print everything and fill it all out, and it literally step by step in the Discord group. So
I'll plug them in.
Yeah, for the same thing.
Like I said, I don't have the time to do it anymore, but I still love knowing that. I mean, so many people, like, you know, for maybe the one bad person that maybe lost money or something, I get message every month from somebody just saying, you've changed my life, you know? I've been following you. Right. I don't even post that much, but it's like I've been following you on Facebook. I've bought a lot of these coins from you, from your, recommendations, and they go in and buy it and they don't talk, right? It's not somebody that's out there and a year later they're like, I've tripled my money. Right. And that makes you feel good. It's awesome. So
we have a free section too, which actually has a lot.
Oh yeah, all those videos that we're talking about.
All the videos. And then when you get into like the paid areas, and the other thing that would cover like giveaways. Let's see.
Oh, the marketplace, so people can buy from each other peer to peer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
Yeah. Oh, not only that, but you can sell anything in there. So like I'm selling my Ducati in there. Because I'd much rather take crypto than dollars.
That's awesome.
So it's like almost like a Craigslist too, crypto Craigslist,
Well, and questions. So it goes through and just kind of walks you through, and then you have little forms.
I think that's maybe when it comes down to it, when I really think about it, is, we talk about, investing into yourself. And it's a scary technology. So was the internet, right? Everything is scary when you first get into it. But I think with the amount of money people spend on just stupid random stuff, to go and spend a couple $100 a month, $1,000. I mean, that's what I finally did. Is I went in there and I found a really big investing company that gives recommendations, and they go out and vet everything. And I mean, I have coins that I was up 700% off of their recommendation. And I think people need to realize that's the best way to get in is by investing a little bit into education. Right? You can go spend $20,000 to go to a semester at a college that you come out with nothing but a great party story. Right. Or invest a couple $100 into learning. You don't have to come in and spend $25,000. You can put $500 and spend $100 to learn and have education and people around you that are smarter than you. That's where I didn't get where I'm at because I'm the smartest. I put people around me that are smarter than me, that make me better. And so, I think the programs that you guys do is amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I think it's the same purpose at the end of the day. Like, I just wanted to help the little guy, because this is, even $1,000 a few years ago would be worth so much now, It's like, oh my gosh, I'm yelling. I've been telling people to buy since Ethereum was. I got posts on Facebook when Ethereum was $7, telling people, you guys gotta buy this stuff. You gotta get this, because what I've tried to do, to your point, is because so few people want to take the time to study. I'm trying to make it like here's a step by step. Here's a worksheet like my freaking 7-year-old brings home from first grade. Like, here it is. Put your name on it. Write your password down, idiot. Okay, write your email. Do this. It's not hard. It takes dude, if you can set up a Facebook account, you can set up Coinbase. Sure. And then with Coinbase, you can set up where it's automatically every week it's $100. Like, dude, how much you spend going to fast food or eating, drinking, smoking, snorting, banging, this, that, or the other, We're throwing money away on everything.
Every day.
So you're not going to notice $100 a week or...
Yeah, exactly, dude. Coffee.
Coffee costs $6.
Yeah, every coffee shop in town has a line around the corner. And they'd have people in there like, dude, my mom loves Dutch Brothers, because every time she goes to Dutch Bros, they know her name. Right. They think she's great. She's like, dude, I'm the coolest person in the world when I drive through the Dutch Bros line.
Oh, that's powerful.
If she just took that money and then was like, I'm going to invest this into me instead of a fucking $7. And I think hers is even like $8.
She wouldn't have to change anything about her lifestyle. Just set it up. You won't notice it.
Yeah.
You might notice it for the first week or so, but then you'll find a way. You'll make it. Yeah. Just do it.
My daughter babysits just so she can go to Dutch Brother.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that's an addiction.
Yeah. But no, that's...
But I mean, me too. Every day.
Sure.
I drink.
Building it up.
I just drink coffee at the office because it's free. Honestly, it blows my. As long as I catch a buzz, I don't care what it tastes like.
Yeah, me neither. At all,
like, that's all I'm looking for.
Hotel coffee.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a shit. Yeah,
drink a gallon of that shit.
And honestly, to me, it doesn't taste much different, right? Like, I've had like really high end coffees that were whatever.
Yeah, it's all dirt water.
Yeah. It's like, nah.
It's hot dirt water.
That's what I tell Rachel all the time. Dirt
But-
water. Her tea, dirt water.
Yeah.
I drink smoothies every morning though. I put like raw eggs, fruits in them, mushrooms, so wild mushrooms.
That's how you get that?
Oh yeah.
That's what I need to do.
That Viking
Yeah.
stench.
No, God sent the package, man. I just signed for it, you know.
Gosh.
I'm a big body without doing anything, right? Like I'm just a large human, but you know, it helps if you go to the gym and
You
work
gotta
out.
eat those fucking raw eggs though, man.
Yeah.
That protein.
Dude, and I actually just the other day, it was weird. I got like a newsletter that was like eating raw eggs is not good for you. And it was like all these reasons why. And I'm like, dude, I've been eating raw eggs since I was, I don't even know, like 17.
Just plopping them in a shake.
Yeah. Yeah. Put it strawberries, almond milk, raw eggs, banana. And then, you know, sometimes I'll throw in tart cherry juice with 0 added sugars. Got to make sure that you watch those added sugars.
Fucking cooking channel,
Dude.
you got yourself a whole list.
Just
of
since we're
ingredients.
talking raw eggs, I gotta give a shout out to my daughter. I have 4 boys, and the youngest is a girl, and we did a challenge to see who would eat a raw egg.
Oh.
And all the boys wimped out. She literally cracked it, boom, boom, down,
Slurped
down
it
the
down?
hatch.
Dude.
Right, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
15
Oh yeah.
years old.
Just
She
plopping
downed
it down
Oh,
like
yeah.
a big old booger.
Didn't even phase
her?
No, nothing. Yeah, showed those.
Did
boys
you
up.
do it?
Heck no. She won the challenge. It was the first one to do it. She showed everybody up.
Mind
Wow,
over
that is
matter,
amazing.
man. She
I have
wanted.
everybody sitting
She,
there going, She
yeah.
literally cracks it, drops it.
dude.
Done.
That's mind over matter
Once
as-
you jump, it's
Baller.
over. You
Baller.
know.
She's
Oh
baller.
man, that is so baller, dude. Yeah, because I think, that'd be.
Just the texture. But
Oh yeah, exactly. Slimy. Just. Oh man.
I'll try any food, but I don't really like oysters or anything like that.
That goes back to eating humans.
Yeah.
yeah.
But what humans do eat, like oysters, like how do we find these weird ass things and we just, hey, let's eat it.
Dude, same thing with like drugs,
I
dude.
guess
Like, how did they
survival.
find drugs? You know, you got like one person was like, "Oh, I'm gonna crush up this plant and make hair or opioid out of it or whatever, opium." And then,
Well, for that, like, dude, you can just cut it. You can just cut it and take it. So
Oh,
think
really?
like thousands or millions of years ago, we were hunter gatherers, and we every day you've got to eat what you find. So of course, some mushrooms, like, I'm gonna eat. You
I'm
eat some
starving, I'm
mushrooms,
gonna eat anything.
exactly.
What was that? That was
You
good.
trip balls. Then you go back to
Yeah.
all the people in the tribe, like, whoa, guys, you guys got it. I just ate this thing,
Yeah.
and oh man.
We're all
or
laughing
you
at the
didn't
guy
make
that
it back
ate
to the
the
tribe because you ate some
Oh yeah, you're
poisonous
dead. Then
mushroom.
Bob's freaking, oh man, with next to the mushrooms, like, oh,
Yeah.
we're not eating that.
Put that on the checklist not to eat. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But think of how long it took for humans to develop all that. Trial and error. That's wild, man. Survival.
Evolution, right?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. So now
Well,
where's it gonna
Now
go?
we don't know how long humans have been around for because we're finding like all this crazy stuff now. You know, like
I mean, proof.
yeah.
Proof that, I mean, they're saying Göbekli Tepe or whatever like that. It's like 25,000 years old. Or, oh man, yeah, and just finding this new stuff that's, I mean, it's irrefutable.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to
Well,
dispute it?
I think they found, like a tablet that had the kings of Samaria that goes back 450,000 years or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're saying that
Dang.
like they're saying that they exaggerated like when they were making the tablet or something along those lines to like show longer bloodlines. But you know, who knows?
I mean, we barely have any culture left from 100 years ago. And really, our current culture is based on the last 2,000 years. So, man, to even think like 5,000, 10,000, like, we can't even imagine it. We can't even imagine what life would have been like back then. That's so wild.
Yeah,
Deep.
yeah.
Look at all
Super
that
deep.
wealth of knowledge up there. You're not just a big guy.
Gotta keep that brain going, man.
I just like reading and watching weird shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm just like the weird shit guy, you know. Like you said, I was a construction guy. I feel like I'm more the weird shit guy. You know, I like watching weird stuff, and you know, I retain some of the information sometimes. You know,
then regurgitate it.
yeah.
It's got to take in a lot of information, man. That's it. Evolution is just we're taking in more information than we've ever taken in human history.
Yeah.
Like it's constant, and then imagine that. Yeah, that's why there's anxiety.
Oh, sure.
You're taking in so much information all day. From the first thing you pick up is your phone in the morning. So as soon as you wake up, you're already taking in
Go to bed,
so much. Non-stop.
Very true. Never thought of it that way.
And so think of like a computer. You're just taking in all that data all the time.
Yeah. Back in the day, they're like, dude, do you think a mountain lion's going to kill us today?
I mean,
and today we're like not even worried about that. Now we're just looking up Instagram big booty hoes and stuff.
What I look like to everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the new fear.
Right.
Is the fear of what other people think, fear of culture, fear of going against the grain, like any of that stuff, man, for sure. That's the new tiger. Media. Yeah, it's wild, man.
The most powerful tool. We talk about evolution. We did a whole thing about evolution, just from everything, from tools. You know, your grandparents
100%
taught your parents, you know, with a hammer how to build a house, and then the next generation taught. You know, our parents started to teach us the evolution of how to use a computer, and now the most powerful tool in the entire world is a cell phone that is on us at all seconds. And I taught my kids this. It was about a year ago. I told them, you know, how powerful this is, that it most powerful. You can, with the push of a button, I can destroy anybody. I can destroy you. And they kind of laugh. And they're like, no, you can't. I'm like, I can, in 1 second, I could destroy you with this phone. And I said, and I pulled up a naked picture of my kids, and I go, you want me to post that on social media? Done, right? Like, you don't realize, like, one picture, one post, I can destroy it. So understanding, just you know, like a gun. If your parents taught you how to use it, then you know how to use it, and it becomes, instead of a weapon, it becomes something to protect yourself. And that's the only time. So how do you use this as a weapon to protect yourself and not use it to hurt people? It's crazy, just the evolution.
Yeah,
that is true.
If the parent is using it in a destructive way, then naturally they're going to teach their kid to use it in a destructive way. Yeah. So thank God there's people like you out there.
Well, and everything on social media is fake. You know, everything is planned out.
It's always the best version. Yeah, filtered in whatever way. No one's putting like the most rawest.
Yeah, but like
everything's fluffed.
Yeah, exactly. But like now influencers are like thinking of material. They're like, oh, this would be hilarious. And then they set it up like it's a fucking, like they, you know what I mean? Like everything is planned out and scripted. And yeah, exactly. Right. But people truly believe some of those things are actually happening to these, you know, they're like, oh, his Ferrari got egged, or, you know,
but why do you care?
Yeah.
Why do you care? Like, you don't know them. They definitely don't know you. So like, why is there an emotional attachment to it? Like,
or there was like a prank where he was like, my girlfriend doesn't even know that I'm going to put an alligator in the bathroom with her. But she's wearing a fucking bathing suit in the bathtub. It's like nobody wears a fucking bathing suit in the bathtub, right? Like, and then people are like, that was so crazy, dude, you know, and like freaking out. It's like,
how do you not see that's so fake, so stupid, you know? Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's like, but that's the thing about living in a fake world, is that it has to progressively get weirder and weirder in order to like be stimulating, you know, until finally it blows.
Yeah.
And that makes me, let me ask you something. Like in this journey, you know, especially over the last 5 years, do you feel like this underlying energy or this underlying feeling that something big is going to happen that like just changes everything?
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling. What it is, I don't know. I thought something would have already happened, but like you said, whether it's a Band-Aid or whatever you want to call it, I feel somehow they keep everything together.
Keeping it going,
but then the fear is then if you keep something going, it just gets bigger, and then the repercussions are worse. But yeah, and I don't know why, and that's why people think I'm crazy. Sometimes it's like, oh, you think so negative. I'm the most positive person in the world. But yeah, I think, you know, just from history and just, yeah, maybe it is just a feeling, intuition, like something's just not right. Something's going to happen. And like, I don't know, it's, you know, when the whole toilet paper thing happened, right? You know, then it's
Dude.
Like, oh, everybody went stocked up, and now here we are 2 years later, and it's like, okay, that wasn't it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I don't want to be the weird guy that's like, fearing for the worst, but I mean, history would say that, you know, something. I mean,
it will prepare for the worst, live
just
for the
got too
best.
weird, like you said. Right. Things have just got too weird.
Well, think how crazy people got over toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was insane. Like, I remember
they were getting toilet paper instead of food.
Yeah, I remember.
Make sense.
I remember I couldn't even like find toilet paper because I was one of those people that didn't. I always walk around stupid, like, oh, I don't give a shit. And then when you run out of toilet paper, you're like, oh shit, I need to, like, you know, figure this out, you know?
Yeah.
So then I like called around, and one place was like, we have a shipment coming in tomorrow morning, but just so you know, there's going to be a line out front. And so I like showed up a half hour early, and there was like 12 people waiting in line to go get toilet paper. And I was like, damn, dude.
Somebody private messaged me saying they had a private storage of toilet paper that they had bought if I ever needed it. And I was just like, hang on, are you being serious? Like, you really, like, yeah, people are crazy. Yeah. I would have never thought that was a reality, but you still see it right now. You go on the shelves, and there's still things that are just have never come back. Or gone.
Why?
I don't. Yeah,
well, now I wonder why people even use toilet paper. I don't even use it anymore. I just use wet wipes, dude. They're the best. Way better.
Oh, but I mean, if shit hits the fan, wet wipes are. I mean, you're living bougie.
Is that like the steak? I was just thinking the same thing. Wow, wet wipes. That's like a.
I mean, I do that too, but I also, again, going back to, I got tons of toilet paper.
Oh, I got
a year's worth of toilet paper.
I've got a year's worth of wet wipes.
Yeah, I mean, you just go buy a box for one guy.
Yeah.
But what we were talking about, like this feeling, because I've been the weird guy since 2006, waiting patiently, like thinking, here it is, dude. 2008 collapse. Like, I'm waiting then, like all these things. But I look at, like, it's a wave pattern, and the wave is getting closer. Like the weirdness, the craziness is getting bigger and closer together. Rather than like 5 years apart. Yeah. Now it's like every week something. It's like, what is it this week?
One thing that's just gonna pop it,
exactly.
Catch the edge, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I've talked about, you know, from the housing market, all those kind of things. So yeah, for the last couple of years, so everybody's like, oh, you were obviously wrong. Oh, look, you've been saying this for 3 years now, and that's what it's like. You don't realize when you're in the moment. It's like, yeah, I could still be right, but the problem is over the last 3 years, you guys still paid more. Right. You guys still paid more and more and more and more.
Right.
And that just means it's going to hit you harder. And so, yeah, I said it 3 years ago, and I started the mindset 3 years ago. And who knows? Who knows if I'll be right or not, but it's not hurting me, right? I'm not going to lose anything if it doesn't happen. And maybe I didn't gain the huge numbers, but
how huge?
Yeah. Well, and you
50%?
You can't even use that money though.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
so
not
really
actual...
you didn't gain. Even people that
until you sell.
Dude, right. I have clients that are taking their equity out of their home and buying like stupid things like $100,000 Tacomas and boats and fucking all sorts of
the side by side. I know the buddy that manufactured. He can't even keep up. By the time he gets them in, they're gone. These are $40,000 machines.
So that same person that's calling you crazy, like, of course it's crazy because it goes. They've bet everything that it's going to keep going up to the point where they'll go get into more debt. Because they think it's going to keep going up.
And this is what happened in 2008 and back 2007 is everybody started leveraging their equity, which at the time you think that's genius. I mean, I did it. I lost bad in 2008, and that's why maybe I'm so cautious this time around. But I did exactly that. I had all this equity in all these houses, and I'm like, what else? Why would you not turn it and make money off of it until it was gone? And then I had all these, you know, I used all that money to go do all these other things, and then that house was no longer worth anything to what I thought it was. When you came to sell, that $1.2 million home sold for $485,000.
No way. Yeah, so when that happens, that's when I'll go.
But it's until you're in that moment, like,
or gone through it.
If I rewind, everybody that's doing what they're doing right now, I was that guy.
Right.
I was buying a cabin. I was buying the extra houses. I was 32 years old driving a brand new Dodge Viper, my dream car. Like, I had all that stuff. I saw it, and at the moment, it was like, this is impossible. Californians are moving here. This is never going away. It's impossible. Our community is just the best. Look, everybody's buying houses, buying cars. We're you know, all have smiles on our face, and then
we figured it out.
And then overnight, it really seemed like it was overnight. It was just gone. And so, that's my gut feeling. So I try to help as many people as I can. And I'm not saying don't buy, don't do it. Just know your finances. Be smart right now.
What's the
Don't
worst
leverage.
possible?
Don't do all those kind of things right now because there's no question about it. We're at the highest that we've ever been.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's the only fact I can say.
I found this interesting. I actually just had a client of mine that's refinancing their house to do an addition. And they brought up to me that they got sent over a 40 or 45 year loan. So 30, 40, or 45. They didn't even get the option for 15. So they're extending these loans out now.
Of course.
Because the interest rate's going up. Prices are so high.
They need to keep payments.
Yeah, where people still come out and buy.
So they'll have to either...
Loan, stay in debt.
Lengthen out the loan or drop interest rate. Interest rates are not going to drop.
No.
This is called economics.
Yes.
In
It's
a
going up.
debt-based society, it's only going to go up.
And inflation. It's
Well,
gonna
think about how
price
horrible.
it-
Like, if you're a bank, think about how horrible these loans are that you're giving out too. Like, people are, if they don't have 3%, they're giving them homeowners or insurance, right? To now, if your house does lose whatever equity, now you have insurance against that, but that costs you another $300 a month. And I mean, it's just what horrible loans they're writing right now, right? Like, you don't even have 20% down. So you don't have 3% down. Oh, you have zero money down? Perfect. We can still put you in a house. Right. Yeah, we're just going to have to charge you money for insurance. Yeah.
In a different way. That's what people, oh, no, it's protected. We're not doing the same interest loans, whatever. It's just spun a different way.
Same sharks are selling the same blood.
Yeah.
In a different way.
But what you were saying is, there was another good one. Dang it. Oh, it's a great quote from Think and Grow Rich. He talks about in the animal kingdom, animals eat each other to survive. In the human kingdom, we rip each other off to survive. Wow. So that's why people would sell a shitty loan, is because, dude, we all do it. Sell something or do something because at the end of the day, we have to survive. You got to make money to feed yourself. So that's how someone, here's the thing, I bet the average mortgage broker or salesperson, they don't really understand the math behind it. They just, again, it's, hey, we got your payment right here. They don't understand compounding and any of that. They're just there to say, they're a salesperson. They're not a mathematician. Sure. They're very friendly people. So they're like, hey, I'm cool, sign your life away. And then all they think about is, oh, I'm making a percentage off that. Cha-ching. There's another one, babe. Cha-ching.
And good for them in the sense. Like, that's why I have so many real estate friends. Obviously, we all know. Everybody we know.
Totally.
They get so mad at me. I feel like they're mad at me because when I post something of like, be careful. And I'm like, man, this is not to go after you. For you, in every economy,
100%.
you're going to make money. Everybody's going to want to sell their house. You're going to sell. But as far as the buying part, I'm sorry, I disagree with that. But my disagreement is I don't make money off of that in zero way. It's just I don't want to see my friends go through what I went through. Because you want to talk about jumping off a ledge. Crypto had nothing to do with the feeling anxiety of jumping off a ledge that I had in 2008.
Oh, wow. So
I don't
Interesting.
Want people to feel that. Took me, people don't realize that same
house. That's PTSD,
man. That same house that was $1.2 million that I sold for $485. It took 10 years to get back to the $1.2 million.
Oh, wow.
10 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So you can say that, no, you'll always have that money. Yeah, sure. If you can hold out for 10 years, then sure, it's good.
But meanwhile, you're making those same payments like it's a 1.2 million, while your neighbor is making payments like it's a 480,000.
That's all I tell them. I just want to be the guy that bought the house at 485. Right. That's it. There's nothing wrong with anything else you're doing and buying at that. All that's great. I want to be a different guy this time around.
Yes, but it's also interesting. Like, what, you can't take a joke. It's okay for you to talk shit on crypto, which I've been for 5 years in a row. But if I say it's not, I'm the same as you. Like, hey, I wouldn't personally get in, nor would I advocate, because one of the first principles of investing is buy low, sell high. So if the market's at all-time high, like, guess what? I'm not getting in. You want to get in? Do it. I don't care. But man, I'm trying to get in when everything's on fire. Boo. Yeah, you do you, boo.
You want to talk about 10 years? It's interesting when you think about cryptocurrency. So you're okay to buy at a high, knowing that, hey, in 10, 15 years, if you're planning to say you're guaranteed to make money. Sure, on real estate. Well, what's happened in 5 years in crypto? So if you're saying you're willing to hold on to crypto for 10 years to make sure,
Right.
what is it going to be in 10 years?
Right.
Because 5 years ago, Bitcoin was $500. It's 42,000. I don't know. That's, I think, a little better than 16% a year.
That's
gains.
right. Yes,
Maybe
exactly.
just a little.
And either way, whether it's real estate or crypto, you're holding forever, right? Like if you buy,
Isn't
if you're
that 25-year hold, 30-year hold,
exactly.
your loan's 30 years.
Yes.
It's retirement.
Yeah,
No,
so why wouldn't you
nobody
just hold
holds
on to
that
this?
home forever though.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, is I know so many people that are like, you know, going from their $400,000 house that's now worth $800,000 and buying like a $1.8 million house, and their payment instead of like $2,000 a month is $5,800 or $6,000 a month. And they're
Dude,
like,
are you kidding me?
oh, dude, and they're loving life,
what?
bro. They're like,
What?
dude.
You don't think they're stressed out? You don't think the average
No,
person?
they're not.
Where are they getting the money?
My favorite is like when you see that same guy
Dude, 'cause
post. I just
$6,000
made
house payments at $15,000
$20.
nut.
I just made 20 grand in equity in 2 months, and it's like, oh yeah, well, go spend that money.
Yeah, yeah, that's the ultimate. Go spend that money. You're saying you can't spend crypto. Try to spend that equity without getting in debt, or now you owe more than you spend. Like that's a double negative.
And I'm not in the mortgage industry, and maybe I'm missing something, but like you just said, they sell you on the 30 years, you know, the concept. But do you not? Why is the interest rate all tacked to the beginning of a loan? Because they know you're not going to stay in it.
Right.
They're going to make their money. Who
Right.
cares? We'll spread your payment out. We know we're going to collect all our money in the first 10 years, knowing that 80% of people sell that house within that 10-year period, whether because their lifestyle changes, more kids, less kids, whatever it is, downsize, upsize. They got their money, and you're still stuck with that?
Yeah.
Well, or even better for them, at that 10-year, they refinance. Oh, start all over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Here you go. Go get that boat.
And the science goes down to even like manufacturers' warranties, right? So these guys do the most research out of anybody as far as warranties go,
Right, of
because
course.
what they see is that every 7 years someone sells their house, right? So they're doing 10-year warranties, but only if it's transferred over to the next owner, and only if it's done within 6 months of you purchasing the house. So really nobody has a warranty on their stuff, because nobody stays in a house for 10 years. When are you going to start seeing these manufactured defects or these problems, right? It's going to be within the first 10 years.
Right.
And then after that point, they don't even have to worry about it anymore, right? So like Pabco, they had a defect. Gosh, I can't even remember. It was like maybe that 2006, 2004, 2007 range, right? It's a roller defect. But I don't do it anymore. But like when I first found out about it, and I was like, oh man, I can make some money off of this. I was like sending people's shingles in, and they'd get a check for like $900, and they'd be like, oh, well, I don't have 10 grand. So I guess I'm not going to redo my roof, but thanks for the $900. Yeah. And, yeah. So, yeah, manufacturers' warranties are difficult. And I mean, they even go down to the point where
science.
Yeah. They even go down to the point like if you're not a preferred contractor through that manufacturer, you just have a warranty on the materials. You don't have a full warranty from the manufacturer. So it's like, what is your materials? Now it's a lot. It's like $4,500, but back in the day it was like, $2,000.
Sure.
I mean, here's the thing. Really, at the end of the day, any warranty is be grateful you have any.
Yeah.
Once you buy it, I don't believe in warranties or guarantees. Hey, it's a roof. There's weather gets on it. Like, I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah.
Like maybe for a year or something like that, but dude, 10 years, like to me, people, you just be lucky, be grateful you even got anything. But what you should do is really be good with your money, so that when you need a new roof, because people need new roofs. If you have a house, you're going to need a new roof. You're going to need new stuff. So you better be good with your money, because you're going to need new tires for your car. You're going to need to change your oil. You're going to need all these things. All these things take money.
Well, that's why I love leases. I can't do a lease because of how much I drive, but I love leases because your payment's like a fourth or half of what it normally would be. The entire time you're in that lease, you're in manufacturer warranty. So anything that goes wrong, and typically like Toyota and all these other companies, they include all the oil changes with your lease. So you never have to worry about that car. You're always going to have a car payment unless, you're someone like you, or that just pays off a car and drives it around till the wheels fall off. But, most people have car payments. That's just the thing, is like, everyone's like, yeah, but do you own the car? And it's like, have you ever owned a car? No. You've had a loan out on every car, and you get a new car every 4 to 5 years, and you roll over that negative equity into your new loan. And so now, you got $8,000 in negative equity.
Just a deeper hole every car.
Yeah, exactly. You got $8,000.
Another trap, though.
Yeah.
Just a deeper hole.
But we just had a third kid. We need to roll this $8,000 over because we can't fit all the kids into the Suburban.
Right.
Yeah. So we need this Suburban. So we'll just take this hit of $8,000. But instead of doing a 6-year loan, can we do a 10-year loan so our payment goes down? Dude, every
10-year loan on a car
happens all the time. Dude, some of those trucks, and this was back in
120 months.
This was back in 2012, 2013 that I was in the car industry, and people were taking 10-year loans out on, $50,000 trucks. And
anybody can get approved for a vehicle now. You talk about, like, they were talking about the housing market back in 2007 where anybody could get approved for a house. Yeah. And that's what happened. Well, now, I don't know what the difference is. I mean, sure, it's a higher value, but in some cases, I mean, houses back then were only $100,000. Now everybody drives a $60,000 to $80,000 vehicle, it seems like. But anybody and everybody right now can get approved. They've dropped the credit rating from like to a 550 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
And like you said, they extended out. So, you can't afford this $60,000 vehicle. We'll give you a 10-year loan. Now you can. Yeah. So what is the difference of $2 trillion in debt in vehicles or $2 trillion? I mean, debt is dead. Our economy is definitely
based
on debt.
I was at the Arid Club. One of my clients is a big wig at a bank, so he only handles loans $40 million plus. And then I think the guy said he was a big wig at Zion's Bank or something like that. But they said that credit card debt since COVID has tripled in every household, and that the average car payment went from $425 a month to now is almost $1,200 a month. The average car payment. Yeah.
$1,200. Dang. These people got to be stressed out. I'm stressed out just thinking about it.
Because they're in this fairy tale life.
Where are they getting their money? That's the thing. Like, where are they getting the money?
Opening another credit card.
Yeah.
And then make a minimum payment.
Opening another credit card. If you guys go and look back through the history, and it's been since 2008 that we've seen that's the average individual debt, like credit card debt, is at the highest it's ever been.
Right.
And the last time it was at this heights was back in the 2007, 2008. But no one wants to look at all that's what I said back then is there were so many signs. Once I hit 2010 and 11 and finally came out of...
Right.
I don't know. It could have even been a depression. Whatever it was. I'm not a depressive person. But it was definitely defeating to know what happened. And I sit there and I look back and I'm like, okay, what were the signs? What did I miss? Because I was caught up in all the money. I was caught up in all the nice things and the new things and the flashy stuff. And what were the signs? And if you go back and look, the signs were all there.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to see it because we were too happy. Right. We were too happy living this amazing life.
And honestly, that's why I think they keep hitting us with all of these stimulus checks.
They're still giving them out.
Dude, they're talking about releasing another one.
Yeah. It's $2 trillion.
$2 trillion. And all they're doing all they're doing is just funneling money in.
This is the best game of Monopoly I've ever
doing
played.
It.
Dude,
I'm getting no big deal.
But they did the same thing in China though. Remember back in the day in China? Well, not back in the day, not that long ago. They were building these false cities in China
they're all empty.
Yeah, exactly. To stimulate their economy.
Right.
Yeah, they were making all these, and we're doing the same thing with these stimulus checks.
And just give it directly instead of a third-party fake construction. Just give them the money direct.
And they talk about inventory here in the area, but what we don't realize is we have the highest construction bill going on right now. Like they are over manufacturing and building, like every corner. Think about it. Every corner has a new apartment building being built. Every square inch of land, they're actually over building right now, which is what's going to cause a problem.
You don't think demand is there? You don't?
I personally don't. I think so. Here's what it was: is again, go back and look at every article. If you look at 2006, 7, Boise was in the newspaper for being the fastest growing. Now, don't get me wrong. People are moving here.
Yeah, 100%.
But to that fact, a lot of everything's driven by the technology industry. Do you guys see what happened to Netflix? Mm-hmm. They lost 20%. Yeah, well, guess what's going to happen to a lot of these? Almost every technology company right now is overinflated by 20%, 20 to 40%. Sure. What happens when that hits them? Are they going to, all these people that are working from home, they're going to stop all those jobs working from home. They're already, if you look in California, they're already starting to make people come back to work. Like they have these massive buildings and all this retail. What are they going to do with it? They need employees to come back. So I do think that we're over manufacturing for the first time ever. And yeah, we have a lot of people moving here, but it's still, I think it's a lot of it's fake.
The housing market on that, and I think materials wise, I don't think we're overbuilding. Just because it's impossible to get materials. You're 4 to 6 months out from getting trusses. Where I was in construction back in 2006, and that was not the issue, right? Like it was a plethora of materials. So I think as far as like the construction goes in Idaho and actually in the United States, we looked this up with your one friend. Typically the United States 2009 to 2015 or 14 or something like that was building 14.5 million homes in the United States per year. Last year, they only did 5.8 million. And the year before that, it was less than that.
I think we were, and that's where if you go back because of COVID, because of the shortages, there was like we weren't building enough, and that's really then what caused the problem. Is back then we weren't building enough. I don't know. I don't know why. I just have that feeling now we're overbuilding for the potential growth because there's this massive growth. But what happens when it stops? What happens if people stop moving? And people are actually, we're now dropping down the list of places to move to because we're the highest inflated. Yeah, so as people as families start to go to Utah,
dude, I have multiple employees that can't afford to live here anymore,
and because income is not rising to meet.
Unless you're stay at home making money.
My Finnish carpenters moving to Tennessee.
Oh wow, really?
My roof repair guy is
construction movers move out too.
People selling, all the people selling, a lot of people, and they don't show those numbers. A lot of people that are selling here are moving out because take it, sell it high. But what do? You have to move to another state.
Yeah.
So you can buy the $1 million home right now here is like $600,000 in Arizona area, $400,000 in Texas, and a lot of those areas. So their growth in
Tennessee.
Those areas.
Dude, you can buy nice houses. Honestly, if you're like around the Oak Cliff area, Oak Cliff's not it's not that bad. They're revamping it in Texas, but you can buy a house for like 80 grand over there. And same thing with Georgia. You can buy a house for like 100 grand in Georgia. You know what I mean? 140K like can still get you a house. You sell a house.
But then it needs 100 and remodel at least.
That's not necessarily true.
80 grand in 2022 that doesn't need a whole new house put under it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like
even those blocks that we've talked about, like, dude, those need incredible amounts of work. That's why they give them away.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they need a crazy amount of work.
I do think we're living in this crazy fairy tale land.
100%.
In this Idaho border
dude,
of life.
I see Idaho's in a bubble of its own, a bubble of like delusion.
Yeah.
Because there's so much like fast money being made from like real estate. Because to your point, it's like, hey, I bet the vast majority of people migrating out are people that were born here. So they have made a bunch of money at the top, and they're like, oh, just because you made a bunch of money at the top, but you still have a job that doesn't pay very good, and obviously the cost of everything's going up. Yeah, you're like, oh, I just made a couple $100 grand. I'm out of here to Texas or Nashville or something like that, Tennessee. Yeah. And so you have all these people who are migrating from California that have money. They've cashed in that equity. Yeah. So for right now, they're living high on the hog. So, and what happens, because again, at least 80% of people are not good with money. Sure. So when they get it, they're not good with it. They're not reinvesting it to make money. They're like, where can I put this? I'm just going to put it back in a house. But now if I can go to Boise and I can put it in a house, I'm not going to reinvest in a crypto or something that produces cash flow. That's play money. Yeah. So now I can go to Barbacoa every week. I can try all these new restaurants in Boise. I can live that life, and then they're going to wake up and all the money's gone.
What do you think about this? I was just thinking about this the other day as I started to see the growth of Airbnb and VRBO, and it's like I was like, hang on, because I'm always trying to think of what am I not seeing and what am I missing. So a lot of the houses that are being built here, though, are not owned by an individual, meaning
that's
it's an investment property. Yeah, man. So a lot of when we have a shortage in the demand, a lot of the demand isn't actual for real people. There's a lot of houses sitting empty. When you talk about Japan, China built all these things to just sit there for years, hoping people are going to come. What happens when all these people that own these? There's 40,000 VRBOs now, and then almost double the same with Airbnb. I think there's a couple thousand just in our market. I can tell you right now, I'm renting. I sold my house. and I'm renting right now, and I'm renting from someone from California that had, this rental property. But
I think rich people right now, and this is just from like articles I've read and research I've done, they're getting money out of their bank account and putting it into things.
They're getting out of cash.
They're getting out of cash. Right. Everyone's getting invest in big investment portfolios. They never really bought into real estate until now. And that's because people need a place to live. We're under building houses, so they're always going to be rent coming in. But I don't think you want money in a bank account right now. No. You know what I mean? And I think that's why all these people are buying up houses and Ferraris and designer bags and,
anything hard ass get out. Yeah. So think like
gold,
billionaires,
silver,
and like hectamillionaires. Yeah. They see that they're getting out of their cash. Like to your point, like overbuilding is so right just south on the same, just right across the bridge, are building a huge complex. So imagine like it's just a hedge fund or something that builds that whole thing. So even if it's not 100% vacant, like it doesn't matter. I just need to park my money somewhere. This building right on the corner, it'll be the biggest building in Garden City, the highest, 5 stories. Like that's owned by a hedge fund, or that's a big investment that owns that. But then there's also huge BlackRock. I mean, all these, they're buying whole neighborhoods. Because again, like now they see, hey, the dollar's going to crash. I need to not only park it, but I need to secure the debt in dollars. Because imagine right now, if you buy a house for $1 million, that's locked in. You're locked in that loan for $1 million. If you're smart and you get into something like crypto, okay, you're locked into that loan. If crypto blows up or your other investments blow up, then once that dollar's devalued, if one Bitcoin's valued at $1 and you bought it at 50,000, then you really just bought that $1 million property for 50,000 bucks.
Yeah.
So that's what I think they're doing, is they're getting rid of the assets that are losing value, and they're putting in things that they can hold and lock into a debt, and then reinvesting in things that, hey, if the market does crash, I have all these other things. Because think of all the billionaires and hedge funds that made money on hand wash and all this other shit. Like when they were
sanitizer,
right? They were invested.
Toilet paper, dude. Can you imagine if you had invested in toilet paper before that last big thing?
Oh yeah, and then but sell at the top, because obviously the price is going to crash once toilet paper normalizes.
Yeah.
The stock's going to crash, which I'm sure a lot of them did. They run up. Then
I have a really funny story. One of the guys that worked for me, when that big AMC thing popped off and all that stuff, dude, flat out just was like, dude, I don't do roofing anymore. I'm a stockbroker.
Oh,
and dude,
my God.
Left,
don't even get me started.
And I was like, dude, if everyone is buying right now, you want to sell. And I was like, this is not a good time to be buying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, if I learned anything from my friend Gary, it's you buy low and sell high. If you didn't, I missed it. I didn't buy into it because I didn't even notice it was going on.
Right.
But I'm like, this is at the peak right now. You don't want to, dude, he dumped his whole savings into it, blah, 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 and then lost it all. And,
cursing the
dude,
market.
now he's back. Now he's back working for me and working his ass off because he has no savings account, right?
Dang, man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. That's most people FOMOing in, then just getting taken through the old dryer.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Interesting
gosh.
times.
Sure is.
So yeah, the gut feeling's there. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just,
I think more and more people feel it. That's why I'm asking. Because like I'm trying to get the consensus, because I have been the weird guy for so long. But now the more people I ask, the more it's like everybody's feeling this. So it's like, to me, what it is they're almost like frequencies that God is sending out, and either you pick it up or you don't. And what's happening is things are getting crazier, trying to wake people up. Like, hey, you didn't wake up to Corona. Like, hey, maybe we need this. Maybe that time you'll wake up. Like me, I don't know what it was, but in 2006, I woke up. It's like, oh, I picked up that wave. Oh my gosh, I learned about money, how it really worked in 2006. Like going through all these courses to learn this stuff. Because then as I've been on that trajectory, then boom, I see that mile marker. And I'm like, oh man, okay, that's a sign. Oh, wow, this is getting weirder. And now recently it's like, oh, you were actually right.
Yeah.
Like here it goes, like dollars crash and prices are going up. Like, oh, everything you've been saying, like, oh, you were right.
Well, and that's why I wish we would rename inflation, because everyone thinks that like inflation means that everything's going up in price, but that just means the dollar is worth less.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a trick. It's like a spell they're telling. Because like when I'm talking to people about this, they're like, oh, no, everything's just getting more, like my house is going up. Everything's going up in price. And I'm like, no, that's not what that means. It means the dollar is losing its value and you are fucking getting raped right now, you know?
But again, it goes back to conditioning.
Yeah.
Like most people are not good with money. They're not good with numbers and understanding how numbers work within themselves. So they don't get that. So when people do get it, it's a paradigm shift in their own mind. Like, oh, whoa, I didn't see it like that or understand it until that happened. But unfortunately,
normally it's when it's too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to be taken through the old dryer.
Yeah.
Like getting caught in your first wave, you know?
Well, you know, maybe Steve woke a couple people up today from this little meeting, because they're definitely, gosh, I have lots of friends, man. And we all have lots of friends that are just, you know, I have friends within the last 3 years, they're on their third house because they're like, oh, I'm going to take this equity and put it into another house.
Yeah.
And
Dang.
yeah, mama wants a new house. Mama wants a new car.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man. Oh, it's a pirate's life for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Had a good
Had
time.
fun, guys.